Very recently, I celebrated 4 years of making YouTube videos about bikes and cycling stuff and put them on the internet. To celebrate that, I did nothing, to be honest, and I recently was chatting to someone about the channel and how it progressed and how everything kind of went the way it has, and I was talking about the first videos I ever did and the fact that I can't actually watch them anymore. The reason for that is simple. It's slightly cringy, and watching yourself talk, even now, I struggle watching my videos back when I have to edit them and release them. It's just hard listening to yourself speak sometimes, you know what I mean? Today I'm going against that, and I'm going to watch and react to my first 2 videos I've ever released. The reason it's the first 2 is the first video I ever released was like 3 minutes long, I think it was, and then in the second video was part 2, which was about 11 minutes long, and I think that's all the explain we need to do. So let's go and watch me build a bike and paint it. We paint it actually as well. Okay, so this was the video. I think it was called Old Mountain Bike Restoration Part 1, something like that. Very imaginative, but let's watch it. This is my wife's 2017 Carrera Vengeance. It's a pretty good bike. It's, you know, pretty budget, but it rides quite well. It's a daily commuter, so she uses it quite a lot on dirt and road, so it gets quite dirty. It's quite maintenance wasn't really a thing back then, so certainly big style. Like, there was so much mud on this, but like I said, it's a Carrera Vengeance, and like we had a couple of Carreras way back then, and like I liked them. They were okay. They're good. They're like budget Halford spikes. Plugged up in places. The forks are completely seized up. They've been like that for a very long time. But apart from that, it's okay. At this stage in my career, if you like, I hadn't really done like big kind of things like with forks, for example. I rebuild these, and like that was like quite a lot for me at that point. I'd not really done any of that sort of stuff. I barely did any of this. A lot of this was first tries with it. It had a pretty dodgy bottom bracket, so I've actually had it in pieces for a while, so it didn't take me long to take the rest of the parts off. There's a pretty hefty gouge like in the frame where the crank was. I'm pretty sure the chain slipped quite a lot, and it's left quite a bit of damage. Oh yeah, I'm basically just taking the aluminium frame and just like grind part of it away to make it flat. I don't know what, I think they're like brass bristles, this thing. I went through a couple of them trying to do this. It was not successful. I mean, well, you will see. Wire brush attached to a drill, and I'm just carving it out a little bit. There's definitely much better ways of doing this, but this is the way I chose to do it. So it came out okay. Like, I probably use a bit of filler or something, but as it's came up behind the crank still, I felt like it would be okay like that. Just bodge, just leave it. It's I don't know. I definitely, like, if this was like a more valuable bike, I probably wouldn't have even done that part, but as it was a cheap kind of aluminium frame, like, it seemed right thing to do. It didn't take too much of the metal away. I didn't make any holes or make it weaker in places, just took the sharp bits off, so I'm sure it's sensible. So I'm not going to make you watch me sand the whole thing down because it took ages. I didn't take it back down to like metal or anything like that. I'm using the spray.bike putty filler. Is that what it's called? What is it called? Smoothing putty. It's called smoothing putty. I'm using that, and it says it can go on to paint and even over scratches and stuff. So I thought I'd, you know, give it a go. So fast forward a couple of years, I actually did my first collaboration with spray.bike, with Bottoncino Cycles or Bikes. He's got a YouTube channel as well. I'll try and link that below. He approached me and Marlon, and it's how I met Marlon actually, and now we're like really good mates and I see him quite often. And I did this bike that I'll put on the screen now. I'll see if I can find the other pictures of the other guys' bikes. But yeah, it was really fun. basically, and I've just kind of got some paint off them again recently, actually, that I'm going to be doing something with. So just, yeah.
Well, it comes out. I can't remember where I saw this, but as soon as I saw it, it was one of the best things I've seen. Is using like Q-tips or like cotton buds in like bolt holes, and so like fiddly over the top masking.
You can see that I've barely like sanded this thing down. I should have probably done way more, to be honest.
Nice and metally. And then just A4 paper rolled up in the bottom bracket.
This is genius. I stand by this being a very, very good method of doing top tubes as well, or sorry, head tubes. Is like, yeah, like some paper, just put it in, and then when you let go of it, kind of like fills the area. It's great. It works really well.
Let's do the same thing in the seat post and the steerer tube.
So I skipped the dismantling of the forks by the looks of it, but this is me just cleaning the forks down before I paint.
And then I move on to primer, one of my favourite parts.
One of my favourite parts, apparently. Still have that t-shirt I was wearing it yesterday, just saying.
Yes, it was too windy to be spraying outdoors today.
It really was too windy. So I've actually, this is a new setup that I'm trying out at the moment. So if you do have any feedback about how this sounds and looks, do let me know. But yeah, spray painting bikes was something I'd not actually done fully at this stage. So it was quite a new thing. And I got to say, the spray.bike stuff, if you have not tried spraying a bike before and want to give it a go, do try it out, spray.bike. It's really good. The only thing I'd say of it is the fact that it's not that good in the winter, but not a lot of paint is. It takes a long time for it to dry. So you need to have it somewhere warm. Is good, you know, good tip basically. Let's keep going.
Bike builds. I've got quite a lot of bikes lined up at the moment. We're pretty much all ready to go, so it's just a case of just getting through them. So hopefully the videos will be coming thick and fast.
This was my old ending. Watch this.
So if you don't want to miss out on the rest of this build, do subscribe, and if you head over to my Instagram and follow me there, you might even get some glimpses of what it looks like, as I may have finished it already.
So if I remember rightly, I had finished it at that point. Sorry, just made it big again. And I did post it, and I don't think anybody was following me at that stage. But it was quite fun to do. I was really enjoying making the video. Without further ado, should we just watch the next part? Right then, part 2 was called Rattle Can Spray Paints. Hang on, let me just have a look at the rest. What's the rest of it say? Rattle Can Spray Paints and MTB Restoration Build Part 2. But yeah, let's watch it. Let's move my face out of the way. And play.
So this is part 2 of a bike build. I left you with me spraying in the wind the primer.
I'd like to think one thing that's changed massively is the fact that I'm a lot more energetic now. I was describing this to someone the other day as well. Back then, I feel like I was trying to be a YouTuber. I was like, oh, YouTubers sound cool, so I'll just be like, yeah, so this is another paint build, blah, whatever. But naturally, anybody that actually knows me in real life that's met me, this is generally who I am and how I am. So like, you'll see my videos, I kind of loosen up. People back then said, oh, you're getting better at those things. I'm like, I'm just actually just letting myself come through and just be a bit normal. Finding my voice. This is getting corny, but anyway, let's watch me paint a bike badly.
But that's all done. It's all dry. It's come out nice.
That is quite a solid setup there with the old bike rack. There's some random wheels in the background I've just spotted as well, and like the broom handle. That broom handle I still have, and it's got so many different layers of paint on it now, which is kind of cool.
So for the logos on this bike, and I wanted them to be silver, so I'm using AKA like spray paintings. Graffiti spray paint. God, that was hard to say.
It wasn't even quite right either. It was AKA line writing paint. I like the line writing paint mainly because it went on in like kind of it didn't spread too much, the spray, but I think that was more down to the actual nozzles. But this stuff is designed for doing finer lines and kind of like detail and stuff, which being the bike's quite small and thin tubing and stuff, like they actually worked really well, and they were cheap. I think I was buying them from Graph City in the UK for like £2 a can. I've got tons of them still as well
because it really came out nice.
They smelt good as well. Really
decals, I'm using a Cricut Explorer, I think it is Explorer.
I still have this, and there was a stage where when I first started doing decals and stickers, the spray.bike sticker, the first time it was ever made, was I used to make them on this and like peel them all out, and it used to take me like all week to make like 5 or 6 of them, which sounds bad. It probably wasn't that long, but it took me ages. And then they'd sell out immediately, and then I would be like, I just wouldn't have any for ages. But they used to take such a long time. Talking about stickers and merch and things like that, I have been really enjoying making bootleg stickers, and we've done a few on the channel so far, and I've probably created my new favorites, which are these ones here. These are the new bootleg stickers. I don't really know what the theme was or kind of where I went with it, but I remember my wife going, "Oh, I'm going to bed, I'm a bit tired," and it was like 11 o'clock, and I was like, I probably should go to bed as well. And then I had the idea for the Shanabro one, and then stayed up until I'd finished making all of these stickers. So if you are into the bootleg stickers or want to buy any of my stickers from the website spray.bike.com, it supports the channel, it helps me out a bunch, and these are probably my favorite stickers I've ever released.
It's wicked. I use it for so many things, but these are the logos I'm going to be using for this bike. The chains are going to look really cool, and then yeah, I put some vinyl in here. I use permanent vinyl because even though I don't want it to stay on there permanently, I find it sticks the best for paint, at least anyway. The silver came out really good. I was really happy with the colour of it, the silverness of the silver, but I used transfer
Silverness of the silver, yes.
tape to get the vinyl onto the bike. Even though this stuff is permanent, you'll notice in a moment when I start peeling it off, part comes off. It's pretty forgiving, so even then you're kind of good.
I really like the silver shiny paint with like thick black detail on it. I think it looks really cool, but it doesn't stay like that.
This bit was particularly tricky. It was quite hard to kind of, because the design's quite large, it was like folding in places.
That was an understatement. It took me all flipping afternoon to get that to work, and even then it didn't work that well. I don't know if you see it at the final result, but it wasn't good.
So that leaves me with one last thing, to start painting the bike.
Don't really know where I got like the inspiration for this bike from. I'm pretty sure I did see someone paint something similar with this teal colour in that, but it was great colour.
Equally fun as it was terrifying, because essentially I'm now ruining my paint job.
This is the first time I ever did splatter, and it was terrifying. It was cool. It's like it was super popular, obviously, splatter on bikes and things, and I wanted a piece of it.
After doing the forks, I wanted to get a little bit more control, because it was coming off quite thick, which is fine, but on the frame I wanted a bit more control, so I started using just a little bit of, I think it was a bit of wire or something to start with, but the splats were a bit too thin, so in the end I switched it up to a Sharpie, which was much better. The Sharpie
didn't need to use a Sharpie, could use anything really, but that's what I found apparently. This does make me want to paint a bike though.
So after the splats for the rear triangle, I wanted it to be black, and I wanted to fade in the black into the green to kind of give it a little bit more of a softer edge. I kind of just like gently pressed the you can see now, just gently kind of pressed it a little bit so it came out and just spat a little bit at the frame.
I like I like the fact that I kind of like sound like I know what I'm talking about. That was definitely the first time I did it. And a little bit of a backstory here. I used to paint cars and for a little minute. I went into college, left school, went into college and studied car finishing. I think it's probably part of, you know, the history of why I'm into doing this sort of stuff. So I did a lot of body repair when I came out of college, and a little bit of painting, but not too much. So I kind of knew how to do these stuff, but like this is definitely the first time I did it, and I was making up as I went along.
Just kind of give it a nice kind of overspray kind of effect, which I quite liked.
I mean, it's not bad. I quite like it. I think it does look good.
I'm crazy happy with the way it came out, and it's fueled me with ideas for the next couple of projects as well.
The color choices are great. I really like the colors.
Next, I went on to probably one of the most satisfying parts of the whole experience, which is pulling off the vinyl. I used a mixture of new and old parts for the build.
You didn't see me lacquer it for some reason.
To be fair, the only old parts I really used were the bits that
tell you what,
I didn't turn up in time.
I did badly.
I forgot to.
You can see, like there's lots of like rough bits on those seat stays there, where I didn't finish it. I didn't like kind of sand it down or like kind of wet fly it. I should have done, but I often don't. I quite like the rough finish. I like it looking like you've sprayed it in your back garden. But like another day, few hours, like it would have been way nicer. Yeah, I don't think you can see, but the cloth definitely made imprints on the frame where it was still not hard enough, the lacquer and that. I don't think I talk about it in the video. Don't really know why there's grease behind the dropout there, or the hanger. Just grease everything. Don't know what grease this is. Can't tell from here. It's not juice lubes. Although I did have juice lubes back here. I don't know if like maybe I bought it after this video at some point, but I definitely used to use juice lubes before they knew who I was, put it that way. It's cool. I quite like the finish. The silver on the front, I feel like the silver should have been black. Might cut through a little bit more, and then on the back having it silver. It's the only thing I would change, that and then finishing the paint up to make it look a bit nicer. It's the only things I'd change. I remember showing the rebuild of the fork. I don't know why. Maybe I made a reel or something. But like took ages. It was really difficult to do. But they're nice and squishy again, which was cool. What's the gears? I don't know what. I'm getting excited about this bit.
There was two big parts that I didn't have. One I did buy, which was I bought a new cassette for the back, but can't find it. I don't know where it is. And then the other one, which I forgot to order, was a narrow wired chainring. So that would be the first thing I'll need to upgrade on this one.
That was the thing I was interested in. I couldn't remember if I changed chain rings and any of that sort of stuff. It sounds like I did buy a new derailleur potentially, or cassette, or thought about it maybe. And then let's have a look.
Probably like now, because the chain jumps off a lot.
It does. I think I did put a narrow wide chain ring on there eventually. I don't know how long it took me. Those pedals look gross. Yeah, that's definitely the derailleur that was on it.
Mid-build muck-off delivery arrived. They're not a sponsor, but it'd be nice. I got these fabric grips for like £10 in the sale or something on a website. I've never tried them before, and the reviews are kind of a bit mixed, but they're really nice. They're really, really comfy. A lot of reviews say they'll wear down really quickly because of how soft they are, so I'll keep you updated on that. But
I definitely didn't update people on that. They did. I used them on some other bikes as well, and they were rubbish. They were super soft, the compound, so I didn't use them for long. Pretty sure they're the same brakes that were on it.
Tyres, I went for some WTBs, these B-line ones. She rides a bit on the road as well as, but like quite a bit on dirt, so I wanted something that was quite fast rolling but also chunky enough for the winter riding. In particular, these ones, they're like proper fat and they look sick on the bike, but they also roll quite nice, so they're nice and comfy. And so far, no complaints.
I still have those tyres. I've put them on a few bikes since, and they are really good. I quite like them. They're a little bit Billy Bonkers kind of style in the sense that it's not loads of tread, but there's like enough. They're like dirt jumpy, really. Fabric seat. I'm pretty sure I bought this on Chain Reaction probably for like £2. That was the sort of prices I used to sell stuff for. It's kind of like a charge spoon. Funny enough. I think actually Fabric bought the licensing, or they were making them when Charge went kind of away. I feel like these videos were a lot slower back then. I talk more on my videos now, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing. I'd be interested to hear what you think, actually. Those cable cutters I still have, and they're just getting to the point where they're like blunted out. So I don't think I had them much before these videos, so I've probably had them about 4 years. That was just interesting. I didn't realise. There we go. I'll just move the screen. Hang on. Oh, look at these shots. Right, I'm going to move me out of the way, look.
And that's it, the complete bike build. I really enjoyed doing this. I've been building bikes for many years, but it's the first time I've done it in a long time where I've gone start and finish, including paint, and it was really fun. So on to the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like. It really helps me out, and subscribe to the channel, because I will be releasing videos pretty much weekly until I run out of bikes or ideas of things to talk about.
Well, here I'm coming back in. I'm gonna put like that, and then This is fun. So you know what, that's the first time I've looked back at that video since I did it. Well, maybe, but a long time. And it kind of looks sick, to be fair. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually surprised to a point how cool it looks. I'm gonna put some photos on the screen now. I remember it being a bit naff, and I think to my level of bouginess and the type of bikes I like building now is, yeah, it's not cool. But looking at it, like, considering it's like one of my first proper builds, I'm cool with it. I think it's cool. The wheels and stuff I quite like. The actual wheels themselves kind of sucked. I still have them now, actually, to be fair, so maybe they don't suck that bad. The drivetrain ended up crapping itself not too long after building it. I remember having to change it, I think. Can't remember what I did. Brakes were always quite good. Grips wore out, like I mentioned. Saddle's fine. I think I've still got that knocking about somewhere now. And yeah, I think it looks cool. The suspension works quite nice as well. And my wife rode it to work for like a year, maybe. I think it was ages, put it that way. So yeah, super cool, super cool. So that's a very different video than we usually do. That's the first time I've really kind of looked back at one of my bikes. So maybe you enjoyed this, maybe it was really boring and you didn't watch it. That's fair enough. But I'm glad I did it because it's kind of made me think a bit more about what I've done and where I've come and kind of what I do now. So yes, thank you for 4 years. I know there's a bunch of you that watch my videos now that have watched them nearly that whole time, and I'm super grateful for every single one of you. So thank you so much for being part of this journey and being, and this sounds really yuck, but like I mean it, like changed my life. It's amazing. Thank you. So that brings us to the end of the video. So don't forget to go and check out bootleg stickers because they will be live on the website when this goes live, and you don't want to miss out on these ones. I've got a bunch, but like I'm thinking they're going to go quickly. So if you are new to the channel from this video, you've got a lot to catch up on. This was video number 1, and we've got tons now. So go and check them out. And if you haven't already, you should subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free and it helps me out a bunch. And if you can't wait for the next video, that one there is a particularly good one.